Hi guys, I found this gear generator program on the web. I'll put a link in the video description so you can actually have a play with it yourself. But I'm going to use it to demonstrate how a pullback motor works on a toy car. Now there's a few limitations with this program, which means I can't quite show it exactly the way I want to show it. First of all, I need to show a couple of the gears twice on the screen because of the way the gears work, when in fact obviously they only appear once in the motor. So the one that's highlighted at the moment is numbered gear 0 on the list on the left hand side. Gear 0 is also gear 8, which is the other one I'm highlighting. That is the same gear. But because I need to show it all linked together, you'll see that gear 8 is turning faster than gear 0, so they can't possibly be connected together on the screen. But they are the same gear in real life. And I've got the same problem with gear 1 and gear 7. They are the same gear. So you're going to have to bear with me on this. We're looking at the same gear in stereo, I suppose, shown twice. The next problem with this program is I can't show the idler gears, as I call them, sliding in and out of position. Gear 2 is an idler gear that slides in and out of position, depending on which way the gears turn, and gear 6, no, hang on, 8, 7, 6, 5, which is the other one that I've highlighted. That one also slides in and out of position, depending on which way the gears turn. So, what can we do now? We can try and explain what I mean about them sliding in and out of position. The one that's highlighted at the moment, gear 2, is on a slot so it can go forwards and backwards, and depending on which way the gears are turning, depend on whether it meshes or slips out of position. The position it's in at the moment, or the way the gears are turning, with gear 0, which is attached to the back axle, it's turning in the direction that it would turn if we push the car backwards. Because that one's turning that way, gear 1 turns the opposite way, and because gear 1 is turning that way, it would push gear 2 into mesh with gear 3. Now, where's gear 3? Gear 3 is not the big one that you can see turning. Gear 3, I'll just highlight it now. Gear 3 is the inner one. You can see the teeth are meshing. So when you pull the car backwards, gear 0 turns gear 1, gear 1 pushes gear 2 into mesh with gear 3 and holds it in position simply because of the direction it's turning. I'm going to stop the animation now. Right, gear 3, which is the center one here, is attached to the coil spring. So while it was turning, it's winding up the coil spring. Now I can't reverse the direction for the coil spring to undo, so you'll have to bear with me on that. I'll probably have to edit the video and turn it round backwards, but I can't talk backwards to go with it. So, having wound the spring up, we allow the coil to unwind, and that will be turning the bigger gear. The bigger gear is gear 4. Now I'll just animate it and show it turning in the wrong direction because I can't turn it round. What I will do in editing is turn it the other way if I can. That's going to be difficult. I'll try and get my head around that. While we've got the gears turning in the wind up position, I can just talk about gear 5. When it's actually turning in this position, it's being pushed out of mesh with gear 6. It would actually be dropping towards the bottom of the screen in its slot. So I don't know if I can reverse the motion in editing. I might have to do it frame by frame and talk through it. With gear 4 turning clockwise with the coil spring unwinding, it pushes gear 5 into mesh with gear 6, which is the inner one of the two turning now. Gear 6 is on the same axle as the original gear 1, because remember gear 1 and gear 7 are the same gear. So 6 and 7 are on the same axle, and 7 is the same gear as gear 1. And then we're back to turning gear 8, which is also gear 0, which is the one that's turning the back axle and the back wheels. But now they're turning in the opposite direction at a faster speed. Well, I say faster speed, it's the distance that's probably the important bit. They will go further for the same number of turns of the coil spring. And I think that's it. Very complicated for me to try and talk through.
Hey, thanks for watching. There's plenty of videos on my main channel with more added daily, so don't forget to subscribe and enable the notifications to keep you up to date with my new releases. You can help keep my channel running by donating $1 on Patreon to buy me coffee. You can always find more information in the video description. Thanks again for watching.